Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes. Welcome back to Tales of Destiny. I almost said The Legend of Zelda. Last time we made it to Janos, thanks to our good buddy Gar, and now we're gonna take the time to explore the town, see what we can find, and get on with a bit of plot, because there's plenty of that in this part. I'm just gonna give you a heads up now. This part is going to be a long one. Kinda like the first part. But, I mean, it is an RPG, so I guess it comes with the territory. I possibly could have separated this into two different parts. But I think the first part would have been outrageously short to the point where it would distract me, so I just didn't bother. Or I'm not going to bother, so like, this is all going to be one part. We're going to be exploring the entirety of Janos. And we're going to start by hitting up the tavern. So, as I was saying, young people these days are morally bankrupt. Morally bankrupt. Fascinating. And we have a drunk guy on the floor. Don't see that every day. Oh wait, yes we do. Our main interest is actually this group of people on the right side that we're actually going to talk to in just a moment. Ouch. Rejection hurts, my friend. And who's this guy? We're the Black Wings Lens Hunter Gang. Yeah, so what? What? Don't you know who the Black Wings are? Hey, listen up, pal. We hunt for lens by going on difficult adventures and then sell them to the Oberon Corporation. And many products used by ordinary people are made from these lenses. In short, we're a godsend to those people. And Black Wings are superior to all the other lens hunters. We're invincible. We're immortal. John the Beast. Groar! Whirlwind Millie! Don't call me that. And I am the illustrious leader of the Black Wings, Grid the Omnipotent. Omnipotent, you say? Alright, so long story short, the Black Wings are kind of a staple throughout the Tales of series. They could be a guild in one game, they could be a bunch of criminals in another, they could be a straight up circus act in another game. But in this game's case, they're apparently considered really good lens hunters. You don't mean this Leonardo, you don't mean this DiCaprio, right? I don't think she meant that one. Yeah, I think I'll pass. Something about this seems fishy. And if you were to talk to her again, she'll call you a lover boy. I don't know why. I don't know why this random girl's just randomly hitting on you. Alright, so our first problem is we can't exactly leave town because we need a passport. And yet we get told later that we apparently are expected to get one as soon as we enter town, but we came in with Gar and we didn't get anything of the sort. Kinda wish Gar said something about that. After all, we just crash landed from a giant flying dragon. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, despite the fact I crash landed from a giant flying dragon, I have my passport, it's right here. It's like, no. And unfortunately, this old man has misplaced his, passport. Alright, now what you're supposed to do is talk to that old man, and then chat it up with a certain old lady near the southern exit, and then head to the building right next to it. Like that big old building right there. Not the one on the left, the one on the right. You can chat it up with some of the other people, but they don't really offer much besides some dialogue. Get a feel for the town and the country itself, I guess. But seeing as how nobody really provides any actual, like, decent information, I mean, the Darkwings are gonna do some stuff with it throughout the game later, and that's the only reason I even bothered talking to them. But for the time being, we're just gonna solve this little lost passport problem, and then plot should be able to proceed as normal. And because our Stahn is a good boy, he's not gonna take that passport. It's not his. I gotta wonder how people even manage to do that. Like, you steal someone's passports, or not steal, more like you pick it up because they dropped it somewhere, and you just sort of keep it for yourself. Like, what are you going to do with that? Because doesn't a passport have to, like, have your name and stuff? I do also believe that passports have photo ID, at least in our generation, they do. So, I'm pretty sure in this day, stealing a passport would do absolutely nothing for you. I think it would just try to get you into trouble, actually, if I'm being frank. And because we don't have a passport, we're being accused of being a criminal or an illegal alien. Now, in this game, in this game's case, what is considered an illegal alien? Because in the real world, it's considered an illegal immigrant or whatever, like, that doesn't have any sort of, like, actual rights to travel anywhere. You're not using your brain, Stahn. What gives? You should have used that guy's passport to get out of town. Then I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to Sign Guild, not Phandaria. Who cares? You need to get out of this town somehow. Hey, didn't anyone bother teaching you about not stealing things from others? This wouldn't be stealing. It's something that someone dropped. Finders keepers. It's the same thing. You're so wrong. Fine. Whatever. See if I ever give you advice again. Dimlos doesn't seem like a very nice dude. Yow! Are you alright? I'm sorry. I wasn't paying much attention to you because I've got a lot on my mind. To be honest, I'm in trouble. Trouble? What happened? Actually, what I should have said is that my friend is in serious trouble. My friend was caught in a trap inside the ruins by the Snow Mountain. That doesn't sound good. I'd like to help her, but I can't do it by myself. I see, then I'll help you. Are you sure? That'd be great. My name is Mary Argent. Call me Mary. I'm Stahn. Let's get going. We can go to the Snow Mountain from the exit on the right side of this town. Okay, lead on. Man, you are such a pushover. Weren't you going to Sign Guild? Will you shut up? I can't abandon someone in trouble. What is it? Are you talking to yourself? It's nothing. Let's hurry up. Alright, so now we got this Mary character with us, and she's also a party member. That's cool. And she even has a special attack attached to her already. So we're actually going to be showing that off. Because as soon as I walked out, a battle started. It's pretty obnoxious. Mary Argent is sort of is more of a standard swordswoman. She uses a lot of simple sword attacks. But they can really hurt. So if Mary's got anything on her, it's the fact that she can hit really hard. She's really strong. Her Beast Blade attack is a two-hit attack with her sword, where she slashes horizontally and then slashes with goes for like an uppercut slash. And as you can no doubt tell by the name, it's very effective on beast enemies. And Mary is actually And Mary Argent is actually a legitimate party member, unlike Gar, who was just with us for a little while. And just a heads up, any sort of weapon you could equip on a Stahn that you can also equip on a Mary, only bother equipping them to Mary, because, like, we'll get other swords that Stahn could use, like rapiers and sabers and knight swords and the like. The problem is, if you disequip Dimlos from Stahn and give him a standard sword, he'll do more damage, but he won't be able to use his spells anymore. So make a note of that. Any new weapons you acquire, only worry about giving them to Mary, because she doesn't have a swordian, so she doesn't have to worry about casting spells. She just hits really hard. But anyway, now that we're in the cave, we actually got a few new enemies going on. We got the green slug, and we got the sprites. The sprites aren't too bad, they're painfully slow, and they sort of headbutt you a little bit, but again, they're painfully slow. My only big note about them is the fact that your missile sword most likely won't work on them unless you take the initiative and knock them down first. As for the green slimes, they're even slower than the sprites, and instead of headbutting you, they shoot this projectile. The projectile is can hurt a bit. It's nothing too bad though. They're more dangerous than the sprites, is what I'm trying to say. And we got ourselves a saber. Also, quick note, if you don't feel like trying to figure out how to equip the characters to your liking, if you select auto, the game will automatically set them up with the best equipment that you can provide them at this point in the game. So if you have any sort of armor that you need to equip onto a character, just go to auto and it'll automatically equip all the best equipment for them right then and there. So it'll save you some time. As for this cave, it's nothing too bad. It's actually not very long either, because after you acquire a few items, you'll come up to this little star switch thing, get interrupted again. I don't believe I brought this up in a previous part, but I want to say that the encounter rate in this game is honestly just as bad as Fantasia was, in my personal opinion. Because Fantasia, you're getting interrupted a lot. Granted, I'm not too upset about it in Tales of Destiny, because I like this soundtrack, and the battle theme is pretty kick-ass, but I think the encounter rate is pretty miserable at a lot of points. There will be ways to mitigate this later with holy bottles and the like, as well as being able to escape from battle, because for some baffling reason we can't do that right now. Alright, but now that we're in the actual ruins, we have another enemy. We have the Orc Jelly. The Orc Jellies are a little faster than the slime enemies. They're beefier, they do more damage, and they also do this little grabby attack. Well, I guess they sort of slap you. Like, they manifest a hand out of its own, like, substance, and it tries to hit you with said hand. The Orc Jellies are going to give you the most trouble, but again, nothing in this dungeon is going to give you a lot of trouble. Again, the only thing that will give you trouble is that encounter rate, because it's going to be really irritating. One tip I will offer real quickly is, you might have noticed I just used a green gel when I didn't really need to. You're constantly getting green gels as a reward from all the enemies you fight, so don't be afraid to use those green gels when you're maxed out, because you're almost guaranteed to pick another one up soon after. And Stahn got a new attack, the kick attack. Kind of a lame name, I know, but trust me, it's actually really good early on. It's one of his better attacks, if you ask me. Granted, it's not hard to beat Sword Missile, because all it is a projectile you shoot. Kick Attack is actually a pretty useful attack. Kick Attack uses 4 TP though, so it uses twice as much as Missile Sword. I said Sword Missile, didn't I? Whatever, it's the same thing. I'm not going to be showing off the kick attack because I'm saving my TP. I tend to be very manageable with whenever it comes to my TP usage. And this comes to like all the Tales of games, because I don't feel comfortable having low amounts of TP to use, because I would prefer to save them for like boss fights and the like. And just a heads up with that, we're not going to have a legitimate boss fight for a long time. This game is really weird with that sort of pacing. It has boss-esque fights, but not like actual boss fights that you can actually like win. Let's save the introductions for later. Just get me out of here. Okay, we'll get you down now. Stahn, please help me. Sure thing. What do you want me to do? Stand in front of the right pedestal. Okay. Do you see that switch on the pedestal? Is this it? Well, don't push the button. Oh no, run! Yeah! Stahn, are you alright? Yeah. Hey, what do you two think you're doing? We're doing our best. Stahn, hold on, I'll help you. I don't believe this. Is your head just an ornament? Hey, look who's talking. I don't need verbal abuse from someone suspended in midair. What are you talking about? You're no better off than me. Knock it off, you two. Stahn, I'll get you down. Woo! Okay, we need to push the buttons at the same time when I say so. Stahn, don't blow it this time. Okay. What did I do to deserve this? You asked to help them. You could have just said, you could have just been like, see you. It just, like, went the other way or something. If you were so hell-bent on not putting up with this. Oh, why me? Why do these things always happen to me? Is this a routinely thing, Miss Rutee? Well, don't worry about it. Let's get what we want to get out of here. Hey, don't I get a word of thanks from you? Thanks? No way, are you crazy? What? I didn't ask for you for your help. Mary brought you here. Mary brought you here, right? But she did that to get help for you. I think we have a failure to communicate here. By the way, who's the Wonder Boy that got trapped and had to be rescued by Mary? So we're even. Ooh, scolded. We're wasting our time. Mary, let's go. We're going home. Rutee, wait. What? Someone's coming. Uh-oh. Hey, what are you scum doing here? You've got some explaining to do, and quickly. Yeah. He likes to say yeah a lot. I don't know why he just does. Thieves? Oh no, then bandits? Sheesh, what's the world coming to? Why, you little just shut your traps and come get us if you dare. That is, if you want to lose your life. My, don't you have a big mouth. Ah, forget it. Let's finish the three of them together. Yeah. Yeah, see? What do you mean, finish the three? I guess you're with us now. Hey, wait a minute, I'm not... Shut up, save your excuses for the afterlife. Alright, we got boss fight music. This isn't really a boss fight. It's just, these three soldiers are gonna hit a little harder than your standard... mooks. Now, basically, kick attack is a 3 combo attack where Stahn does a double roundhouse kick, sort of, and then stabs downward onto the enemy. It's actually quite potent this early on, and you're going to be using it for quite a while. And it only uses 4 TP. Yeah, it's double what Missile Sword is, but you're going to be using it for a while. And using 4 TP is going to be very gonna be chain TP change. That's a dumb way to word that. Whatever. Retreat! They're all talk after all. The soldiers hit a little harder than normally. The only thing you have to worry about is guarding when you can. In case you forgot how to do that, it's the square button. But they're a little beefier, they hit a little harder, but that's it. If you did come in here a little lower level, like instead of leveling up to level 4 like I did, they might actually pose a decent threat. They might not be able to defeat you straight up, but if you get a little careless, you might get knocked out then. I'd like to thank you somehow. Can you come along with us to town? Mary, you ask him too. Son, come on, let's go together. Traveling is fun with more people. The more the merrier. What? Oh, I'm sure. I guess. Terrific. There's an exit to the south. Let's go. And we're getting interrupted again. Rutee is actually part of the party as well, and she's also a legitimate party member. But considering that she doesn't have any, like, special attacks on her, or let alone spells, I'm not going to explain how she works as a combatant in battle. Well, I guess I will say this: she primarily focuses on, like, stabbing attacks. Like thrusts, rather than slices. But I won't say any more than that until we actually get into some fights next part with her, when she actually has some techs. And Mary just learned a new special attack. And I'm a little confused. Oh yeah, Fireball uses 5 TP, so it is a bit costly, and not to mention, you know, the casting speed. So if you ever want to use Fireball or any sort of other casting spell, my best suggestion for you is to stand at the back of the battlefield, like when you're fighting. And then you'll be able to cast Fireball a little safely. Alright, but as for Mary Argent, she learned a new tech, or special attack. They don't get call attacks until later. Basically, Power Missile is more or less just a stronger version of what you have. I think it's more comparable to Poseidon Bolt from the first game, which later gets named Demon Fang. So, like I said, Mary brings the power. And now we just have to mosey our way back to town, which thankfully shouldn't take too long. As a matter of fact, I miraculously only ran into 1 battle during that, thankfully. My test playthrough, I ran into like 3 before I got back. And even then, there was an item in there that I picked up called the Flame Ring, which I didn't exactly explain. It's a stat boost for Stahn if you equip it to him. Well, not him necessarily. It's called a flame disc, and you're gonna get multiple discs throughout this game. They'll have different properties depending on what it's called. And since Dimlos is a Swordian of fire, the disc will enhance Stahn stats. I believe it gives fire, like, spell properties to other characters, but more on that later. I'm from the village of Linia. Linia? Where's that? It's in Fitzgold. Fitzgold? What? Something wrong? That means you're a country boy! Who are you calling a country boy? Had a bit of gas there, sorry about that. Have a sun-kissed on the side. Keep my throat not dry. I can't word. Sorry. Hey, enough about me. Where in the world were you born, Miss I'm better than you? Oh, someone's upset. Don't put me in the same boat as you. I was born to a good family in Sangel. Okay, that's enough of that subject. Can I see your sword? What? Can I? Well... Never mind. Can you hold this sword? This? Go ahead and speak, Altwhite. How do you do, Stahn? Who is it? I thought so. You can hear Altwhite's voice. Altwhite? That sounds like Dimlos. I was right. You're a Swordian user. What's going on? Tell me, Dimlos. In short, we are both swords created in ancient times. However, we are different from ordinary swords because we are sentient. But unless the user's neural wavelengths is the same as ours, we can't even communicate with the user. Does that mean the user's chosen? Chosen? You haven't changed a bit, Dimlos. You are so good at fooling people. Shut up, Altwhite. Hey, Dimlos? Looks like you've been had. Well... His mind was simple and easy to read, but more than anything, he seemed like a good person. Wait, Stahn, you really have a special talent. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to hear my voice. I know I'm interrupting, but... What? Do you want to work with us? Work? You don't have any plans, right? It might be better for you to travel with us instead of being alone. What shall we do, Dimlos? Why are you asking me? I would feel safer if Dimlos was with us. I won't object if you want to join them. Then let's work together. But I won't take any part in any crimes. Of course. What do you think I am? Well, think what you want. At any rate, we're in business together. Oh, can you give me Altwhite back? Sure. Well now, I'm going to go out for a while. Where to? I'll make arrangements for our lodging. You wouldn't want to stay in our room, would you? Of course not. Besides, I wouldn't want to be bothered by someone like you. Who would bother you? That was a good move, Altwhite. I just said the truth. I'm not helping you. Oh, you really want us to be with that Hemlos or whatever, right? His name is Dimlos. He's just an old comrade. You wouldn't understand. You're not exactly a young girl in love or anything. I don't want to hear that from a money-obsessed maniac like you. What? You don't know a thing about me! That's right, I can't read your mind because you won't even open it to me. You know, I could just throw you away right now if I want to. Do whatever you like. I'm interested in finding out what will happen to a defenseless girl if she doesn't have a Swordian. I'll get you for this someday! I'll look forward to it. Ooh. What's going on? I don't know, but leave her alone. They do this often, don't worry. I see. By the way, why did you set out on your adventure? Me? I can't remember. What? I don't remember. My memories only begin from the time I first met Rutee. Isn't that called amnesia? Don't you remember anything? This. What's this sword? I don't know why I have it, or who it belongs to. Before I knew it, I had this sword. This is the only connection to my past for me. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have pried. Don't worry about it. It's kind of liberating not to have any memories. Besides, everything I see, hear, touch, taste, everything's new to me. Is that right? You'd understand if it happened to you. That's quite alright. That's the last thing I need. You're right. I got our rooms. Great. Well, I'm going to call it a day. We'll leave early in the morning tomorrow. Don't be late. I know. See you later, Stahn. I'm going to bed too. I guess we don't have a say in the matter. He's just it's like screw this. I'm going to sleep. Stahn. 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 Wake up. Stahn, wake up. Hey, I'm telling you to wake up! Oh, good morning. Good morning? How much longer are you going to sleep? Oh, I don't believe this. You're a zombie in the morning. Oh, what? It doesn't matter, just wake up. Come on, let's go. Go where? Oh, give me a break. I told you yesterday, don't you remember? No, not at all. I can't believe it. There's a village called Harmon's in the northwest. We're supposed to give that cane to a guy named Walt. Do you remember now? Not really. Rutee, I don't think you told him that. What? Oh no, Mary, you don't remember either? I don't forget a thing. Tell that to the... never mind. Well, listen up. We're going to Harmon's. Oh, sure. But before that... What? We'll exchange the lens for money. Lens? Let me guess. What? Do you want me to tell you what lens are? Well... yeah. I don't believe it. You're so out of it. Hey, sorry for being a country boy. Okay, I'll teach the little country boy how the lensy wensy gets changed into M-O-N-E-Y. Money. Hey, cut that baby talk out. I don't know what you're talking about. Never mind. Well, fine. It's settled then. Let's go. And we're about to get an understanding of how lens work, because, as I mentioned before, in every battle, you get, Gald, experience, and lens. So now we're going to get the explanation of how this works. I would explain it myself, but it makes for some decent dialogue. At Oberon Corporation, we buy lens from people in order to manufacture our fine line of lens products. Wait. Yes, what is it? Can you start by explaining what lens are? Sure. Lens are a type of energy generating device. The name comes from its shape. They're round and about 2.5 inches in diameter. The most commonly accepted theory says that lens are a technological legacy left by an ancient civilization. Moreover, no one has been able to clearly understand its scientific properties. Oh, whatever. I don't care as long as it can be exchanged for money. Lens are usually found in ancient ruins. However, some monsters have them inside their bodies. Don't ask how. Since our company uses lens as energy source for our products, they are in high demand. We buy them at a reasonable price from lens hunters. Lens hunters? They're adventurers like us who hunt monsters to get lens. The lens are processed in a factory at our headquarters and turned into useful products. The products are then distributed and sold through retail outlets. Now, Would you like to take this opportunity to purchase a lens product for your family? We're not here to buy anything. We just want to exchange the lens for gold. Sure, I'd be happy to help. You have 195 lens. Our exchange rate is 3 gold per lens, so you'll receive 585 gold. Is this alright? Your rate is kinda low. A large quantity of lens were purchased recently, so we have an excess supply of them right now. So basically, lens is essentially gold, which I will admit is a little bit confusing because since lens is used for gold primarily, at least for this portion of the game, I like to imagine that lens are going to be used for something later, but we'll have to wait and see. So whenever you collect lens, you could exchange them at certain, like whenever you're in certain towns, you could exchange them for money, and that will help make your adventure a little more comfortable. Again, I don't see why they just don't increase the amount of gold you get from battles, but whatever, I won't prattle on. But anyway, now that we managed to recruit Mary and Rutee, or more like Rutee and Mary recruited us, our next destination is actually Harmon's. So next time on Tales of Destiny, I almost said it again, we're going to be traveling with our new companions and completing this mission that Rutee is set out to do. So until then, I got a juice.